Welcome to Bangkok, the city of angels where ancient tradition meets modern urban life. Today, I'm taking you on the ultimate day itinerary, uncovering 8 hidden gems and iconic sites that you can't miss. Let's dive right in. Our first stop is VERTIGO SKYBAR on top of Banyan Tree Hotel, which has beautiful, breathtaking views of the city both during sunset and at night. Cool, classy, and modern vibe, and it's a great place to unwind after a long day of sightseeing in Bangkok. The staff there is amazing. It's actually better rated and less expensive than a lot of the other sky bars in Bangkok. And if you're not into cocktails, they also have amazing mocktails, which we drank just because the day that we went, we were so tired from all the sightseeing that we would have passed out right there. But when you're in Bangkok, definitely visit one of the sky bars, and we would recommend VERTIGO as your #1 choice. Next up, we have 2 incredible floating markets, which are Taling Chan and Dam Nguyen Sarawak. If you're not already familiar, the Thailand floating markets are just like they sound. They're markets where you go up to the river's edge, and there are boats coming and going, preparing different foods. They have different, fruits and vegetables and all kinds of things to try. And you go there and basically order based on kind of the boat that you like. They come over, you kind of exchange, eat the food. So it's a really cool experience. And you used to be able to experience this fully in the city of Bangkok. But what's really important that not a lot of people are talking about is that in more recent years, the Bangkok government actually used to give stipends or payment to these floating market vendors to keep this going for tourism, but they have since lifted that. So a lot of the places, there's these basically floating market areas, but there are either no boats at all or very few left. So you might watch some old vlogs of people in Bangkok having this amazing experience with all these boats coming and going in this kind of organized chaos. That experience though is kind of dwindling within Bangkok City. Taling Chan is kind of the last one left within the city limits. But like I said, there are a lot less boats kind of coming and going. Still a cool experience, but if you want the full immersive kind of authentic Thai floating market experience, you need to go about 1.5 to 2.5 hours out of the city to Dam Nguyen Sarawak. Here you'll have a lot more boats. It's also open during the weekdays where Taling Chan in Bangkok is only open on weekends. But keep in mind that floating markets are busiest usually during the weekends and public holidays and not as busy during the weekdays, depending on kind of what experience you want to have. As the sun begins to set, we make our way to Wat SAKET, also known as the Golden Mount. This is actually the last hill that is left within the city of Bangkok, and it's one of the, if not the most beautiful places in the city for sunset. Ali and I were actually able to bring up our drone and get a drone shot of the sun setting with Wat SAKET and the city in the background, and it's one of the most beautiful shots we've got in any city. Really beautiful, kind of magical place, and definitely worth stopping by. At nighttime, when you're looking for good food and a unique experience, you need to check out Hobarts Road in Chinatown in Bangkok. This is basically a street that is filled with all different kinds of food vendors and really comes alive at night. So if you're planning on visiting, really encourage you to come at night. It's amazing. Ali and I have been to multiple different night markets all around East Asia, from South Korea and Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia, all around. And our favorite so far is Hobarts Road in Bangkok. Food is amazing. A little bit more of a Chinese influence, but you can definitely still find some more traditional Thai food as well. Amazing, different smells all the way through, very interesting signage and kind of decor. Really cool experience without being too crowded and too crazy, but very lively, energetic. And of course, prices vary depending on what vendor you stop at. We had roast duck, pork noodles, garlic scallops, and I forget what else, but it was so good. Some of the best food that we had in all of Thailand was right there. Really enjoyed our time, which we really weren't expecting. So definitely worth going to Chinatown when in Bangkok. Now, let's talk shopping. Some of the best shopping in the world happens in Bangkok. I've literally never seen so many amazing malls, one after the other, in any city in my life. So obviously, in Bangkok, if you're into shopping, definitely the place to do it, whether you're trying to stock up on electronics like we were, get some clothes, whatever it might be. And each mall has sort of a different theme, and there's so many to choose from. And our personal favorite mall is Terminal 21 in Asok. Is this mall that's sort of designed like an airport where you're going into different kind of departure gates. There are these different kind of sculptures like the Golden Gate Bridge, the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of David. So really kind of quirky, cool, a lot of really great shops as well that we actually bought a bunch of stuff that we probably didn't need from. And what's really cool about this mall, little insider tip from a local that we know in Thailand, is the very top floor has a food court, and it's some of the best cheap food that you will find in Bangkok. We were shocked. Ali and I had a full meal. It was like chicken, rice, we had smoothies, we had dessert, full meal. We couldn't even finish everything. And for each person, it was right around $5 US per person to eat, which is super cheap. Really, really good food as well. So yeah, if you're looking for good food and good shopping, definitely check out Terminal 21 Asok. And of course, we can't talk about Bangkok without talking about the Grand Palace. This is where the King of Thailand used to reside, and now the royal family resides in another palace, and this is now a hot tourist destination, and for good reason. It is one of the most beautiful places we've ever been. Huge grounds, way bigger than I expected. You could easily spend all day just here, which is just crazy, but it's one beautiful sculpture and temple and building, one after the other, extremely ornate, laced with gold and jewels and shimmering in the sun. It's almost overwhelming. It's crazy. And of course, the palace itself, beautifully kept grounds, gorgeous building, really kind of encapsulating the beauty and the uniqueness of Thai architecture kind of into one place. Even though it's obviously one of the most touristy places in Bangkok, it's definitely still worth stopping. Just keep in mind that you will need to cover your shoulders, your back, and your knees before entering. And if you don't have this, then you actually have to buy clothing there. They make you buy it really cheap. It was like $3. Ali got like a sweater that she needed to wear. But just something to keep in mind when visiting the different temples and religious sites in Thailand. Located just across the river from the Grand Palace, we have perhaps the most iconic and popular temple in all of Bangkok, Wat Arun. Now, if you've ever seen photos of Bangkok online, you've likely seen Wat Arun beautifully reflected in the water. An amazing time at any day, sunrise, sunset, midday, absolutely gorgeous to see from a distance, but it's also beautiful to see up close. It's a little bit less touristy than the Grand Palace, though it's still gonna be packed unless you get there a little bit earlier. Great place for beautiful photos, but it has a very different vibe from the Grand Palace, different kind of aesthetic, and it's just about a 10-minute tuk-tuk ride from the Grand Palace, so definitely still worth stopping by. And last but certainly not least, we have the awe-inspiring Dragon Temple, also known as Wat Sampran. So this is a Buddhist temple that is most notable for its red cylinder structure that has a giant green dragon wrapping around all the way to the top. And what's really cool is when you visit, to get from the bottom of the tower to the very top, you literally walk inside of the dragon, and the inside is basically like this concrete structure. You feel like you're in a military bunker. Super wacky, one of the weirdest experiences ever. But as you walk through up to the top, you have this beautiful view of the surrounding area. It's a little bit outside of Bangkok, and depending on traffic, it can take you an hour plus going west to get there, but it's kind of nice to get out of the craziness of Bangkok for a little bit. Really more beautiful and peaceful in that area. And what's really crazy is Wat Sampran was actually closed for a while because some of the male Buddhist leaders were convicted of sexual abuse to some of the women that were there. So now it's all run completely by women. It's been reopened up. So it has kind of a weird past. It was such an interesting experience, which is so typical in Thailand. And there you have it, Bangkok's ultimate day itinerary to make your trip unforgettable. We hope you liked this video, and if you did, you'll love this video here on the screen, Ali and I's full, raw first impressions of the city of Bangkok, which was completely different than what we expected. So, as always, thank you so much for watching and your support. God bless you, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.